What is going on, everybody? Today's live stream is going to be all about how to get people to buy more from you as they're going through your checkout process. So when people are in a buying mode, they tend to buy more. So what does that old saying go? It's like a buyer's a buyer's a buyer. Well, there's some things that you could do during your checkout process to encourage the people that are coming through your funnel or going through your e-commerce platform or whatever the case may be, whatever they're buying from you at the moment. There's an opportunity for them to buy more if you give them the opportunity to. So I'm going to share with you, I'm going to break down some funnels that I've been using that have been a tremendous, tremendous help when it comes to getting people to buy a little bit more or extra during the checkout process. I'm also going to show you a way to build a stronger brand while they're coming through your checkout process as well. Now, let me share a screen here real quick and walk you through this. So when you come to the page that sells my brand strategy guide, you're going to, this is basically your order form page, right? So you're going to see what the guide is going to deliver, and then you're going to purchase. Once you purchase, you come to this page here. Okay. So you could download the deliverable here, and then you could watch the video supplement as well. But look what I do underneath. Enjoy this content? Here's some more things you might like. And then they may want to schedule a consult after they watch this. So all they have to do is click on this link and it brings them to my consult page. They might need a brand audit. Takes them here and then they book the brand audit. Or they may be interested in my accountability and guidance program. They click here and it takes them to the Growth Club page. This is super helpful because if you just present that on the page, it gives them an opportunity to go check it out. Very, very important. When they're in a buying mode, why not give them another offer that may help them, right? Thanks, Larlin. I appreciate it. All right, so that's one idea. Then the other idea is this here. So when people come in and book an introductory consult with me, once they make the purchase, they come to this page here. This page is going to ask them to fill out this questionnaire. It's going to ask them to book a call on my calendar. And then look what I do here. Here's some homework. I want to give them some homework. So I want them to watch these videos because this is a lot of social proof. It's a lot of credibility. It's a lot of my expertise in these videos. And they're short. They're not super long. But it just goes to show how I've helped Think React Lead, how we designed and built out the Fit Queen project, how we developed the brand for the franchise op expert. This here is going to build that credibility, build that trust, build that authority. So when they get on the call with you, right, they're already excited. They've already seen your work. Because a lot of times, if you're in a service business, when you're on a console call of any kind, they're going to ask you, well, show me the results. Show me how you've helped other people. So you want to provide that up front. So there's no question. And then once they get on the call with you, then you can have a deeper conversation. So what are the two takeaways here in this video? One is, if they've already bought one thing from you, there's a high percentage that they're looking to buy something else that directly correlates with what they just bought. So give them an opportunity to buy that on that order confirmation page. Right? It's very similar to the Amazon. The people that bought this bought that. Right? Very, very similar concept. This is a little bit more of a personalized way of doing it. That's the one. Number two, if you're doing any sort of consulting or discovery session type of call where a person needs to book that call with you prior to getting on the phone, then give them something to read or watch or listen to before they get on that call. I believe they call it pre-framing, right? You want to pre-frame them. You want to show your expertise. You want to show your authority. You want to show your credibility. So when they get on the call, perhaps a lot of the objections that they may have may be dealt with in those videos. So any questions, comments, let me know. I'll stick around for a couple of minutes. Let me know what you, if you got some value out of this. And if you're interested in that guide that I mentioned, you can check it out at uniquedesignz.net/brand strategy. That'll take you to that order form page where you can buy that. And it is a downloadable PDF plus a 50-minute video supplement that basically takes you through that downloadable PDF via video. Very, very helpful. I've seen a lot of my clients get some great value through it. What if you're new to the market, say a new coach starting out? What should they put below? Larlin, maybe there's nothing. Maybe there's nothing you could put out. This was great, brother. Thank you. Random takeaway, but I realize I need a lot more video content. Yeah, I hear you. Let's feature Larlin's comment here. But what if you're new to the market, say a new coach starting out? What should they put below? Maybe a blog post, right? Maybe a video of you teaching something. This is why content creation is so important, guys. You got to create that value. So you may just put some educational videos underneath there of you, doing what you do best. It may not be with a client. That's what I got for you. That's all I got for you. I mean, it's very hard when you're starting out, right? So this is why another thing that I think about all the time is if you're just starting out, then why not find somebody that you would love to work with, reach out to them and say, hey, listen, I would love to use you as a case study. Here's what I do. Here's how I can help you. Here's where I see an opportunity. Would you do this with me? No cost. And I will leverage it as a testimonial. I'll make sure you get all the credit and all the visibility. And it would be a win-win situation for both of us. Seen a lot of people do that. I mean, here's a funny story. A lot of you guys might have heard this story before. I'm not sure. But the way Russell Brunson and I started working together was I was listening to his podcast 5-6 years ago, that Marketing in Your Car podcast. And I just didn't like his podcast cover. And it was just a personal preference. I didn't like it. So on a Sunday morning, I designed him a new podcast cover and I just Facebook messaged it to him. And I said, I don't care if you use this or not, but I wanted to give you something that really represented the value of this podcast. And so he took it and he said, thank you. And he was very, very appreciative. And a couple months later, he reached back out to me and said, we're looking to, redo a lot of our branding here at ClickFunnels. We're going to use this podcast cover, number one, but number two, could you come in and help us with our consistency? Because our branding's kind of all over the place. This is when ClickFunnels was just starting out. And I said, I would love to. Turned into over 6 figures worth of business over 2.5 years from a silly podcast cover that I did for free without expecting anything in return. That's it. Works. Larlin says, you may never know who may need this information. Thanks, Henry. Absolutely. 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 Sharon Falk says, that's how I got my first client. Gave a post to get their attention. Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. By the way, guys, I'm using this new platform called Yardstream. I am so pumped. It's such a cool. Here, Priyanka Mukherjee says, how did you learn about branding? Well, I learned it through The Future, believe it or not. That YouTube channel. I started to dive deeper into branding because I realized that my graphic design skill set at the time was only delivering X amount of value. And it was good if somebody needed that. And then Fiverr came out and disrupted the whole market. What I was selling for $300-400, they were selling for $5. So how do you compete with that? So I realized the branding had a lot more value behind it. If I can help my clients brand themselves better from not just a design standpoint, but from a messaging standpoint, and then on top of that, leverage ClickFunnels and marketing and sales funnels to help them generate leads into sales. Well, now I'm delivering a much more valuable end result and deliverable. So I realized that branding was so important. So I dove deep. I read every Marty Neuheimer book. I watched every video on the future. I dug deep, and I also watched other brands that were crushing it. And I was like, well, why do I love these brands so much? Why do I love them? And a lot of it was how they positioned themselves, how they created the offers and services that they've delivered. What's up, Steven? What's going on? Give him a quick little shout out. Long time no talk, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I love how you can feature people's comments and questions. Very, very cool platform. People were asking me today on a podcast, like, what's better than Zoom right now? And I was like, I got to tell you, StreamYard's pretty sharp. I'm actually coming on live with later on at 1 p.m. Eastern. Satima Ghali, Super Bowl champion, is coming on the live stream with me later on today at 1 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Let me just check my calendar. Yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern. So in a couple hours, we're going to have Satima on. Wait until you meet this powerhouse of a dude, man. He reminds me of The Rock. I'm not going to lie. He's probably the closest thing I'm going to get to interviewing The Rock too. Maybe we'll get lucky, though. You never know. I've had some great luck with my podcast guests, but Satima's coming on at 1 p.m. Eastern today. If you guys want to come back and watch that episode, it's going to be really, really cool. Satima's a great guy. I met him through Russell Brunson's Inner Circle program. A couple years back when I was in that program with him, and he's just a salt of the earth type of guy. Again, Super Bowl champ, grew his coaching business to some really successful levels, and I'm excited to chat it up with him. Yeah, Larlin, that's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So any other questions regarding how to get people to pay more during their checkout process when they're buying something from you, or ways to enhance the customer experience as they're going through your funnel? Those are the questions that I could take for the next couple minutes or so, and then I will wrap up and prep for my next call. So this was really great. I appreciate you guys participating. And again, if you want to check out that brand guide, the brand strategy guide that I put together, that I just featured here, it's uniquedesignz.net/brand strategy. And it's worth every penny, because not only do I give you the downloadable resource, but I walk you through that resource through a supplemental video to give you some better insight, give you better perspective, and help you digest the information a little bit better. Because a lot of times when I download these PDF guides and stuff like that, they're very high level. And if you don't explain it to me in deeper depth, like, it kind of sometimes goes over my head. So I wanted to create a cool supplement piece of material for you to walk you through the guide. Priyanka also asks, what's the best way to build a successful sales funnel? How do I present my offer in the best way possible? It's a great question. So the first thing that I would ask is, you got to work backwards. A lot of times people start with, well, how do I market? Well, no, it's what do they want? What are they willing and able to buy? And willing and able, I put in bold caps. Willing and able, because you may have a great product or service, but nobody's willing and able to buy it. So it's really, really understanding who your customer is, finding out where their choke points are, and then crafting a product or service that helps them. Look at how ClickFunnels was created. Russell was spending anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 per sales funnel that he would build and create back in the day. And he was like, I can't do this anymore. It feels so inefficient. So he teamed up with Todd, and he teamed up with Dylan, One was a developer, one was a user interface designer, and they worked together and they built ClickFunnels out of necessity. There's so many businesses out there that have been built out of necessity because the founder itself was struggling with something and found a solution or built the solution and then decided to sell it to other people. I just had an interview with that company Community. Community is a text message marketing system that a lot of the big names are using. Gary Vee uses it. Lewis Howes uses it. A lot, David Meltzer, they're all using it. And it was a really cool process. Like, it wasn't like any other SMS marketing system. It was, I had to reach out to them through their website, and I actually had to apply to be considered to use the platform, which I thought was a really awesome concept. A lot of these other companies like Scipio and Twilio and all these companies, they're like, they'll take any Tom, Dick, or Harry into their program, which is fine. But Community had more of a exclusivity to it, which I thought was really cool, which made their funnel very, very unique. So I was very inclined to move forward with them. And we're going to go through a walkthrough on Friday so I can get an idea of how to use the software and see what the interface looks like, and then make the decision to buy. But that's that's how you build a great sales funnel, right? Is you understand what the pain points are, and then you deliver an experience that is really going to give them the end result that they're looking for. That's it. That's it. You know, it's not the funnel, because the funnel is just a tool, right? You can't just hire a hammer or you can't just hire a pen, right? It's you got to hire the person that works this pen. That's the key. That's the key. The funnel is just the bridge. You got to have a great product or service that people are willing and able to buy, and deliver it in a clear way that people will understand. Notice how I went really simple with today's headline for today's live stream. How to get people to buy more when they go through your checkout process. My 2.5-year-old could figure that one out, or could understand that one. Keep it simple. All right, guys, I'm going to jump. I could do StreamYards all day long. I so love this platform. So big shout out to Larlin. Big shout out to Steve. Big shout out to Priyanka, Diane Gibbs. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys jumping on today's stream. And I'll catch you later on with Satima Gali at 1 p.m. Eastern. Take care, guys.